Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Four Stroke Hearts. It's early morning. We're in LA time, and this just came out, so I had to wake up and do a video of this. Sorry for the roughness, and allow me to make a little change. Yeah. Sorry, KTM. V4R Ducati 2023. Holy, let's see, let's go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the new Ducati V4R. Hit me. Hit my bank account. Okay, looks very similar to the V4S P2. What is racing? Racing is everything. Everything is racing. I sounds mean as always. Okay. Nothing new in the aero from what I can see. So I'm sure the work has been done internally. Yeah, the aero is still the same as the V4S P2. Same macros as before. Visually hasn't changed much. Visually still, doesn't have to change, it's gorgeous. But the BMW, the new one, that's a locomotion too. This is racing Panigale V4R. Here we go. So what did they do? Wow, Alessandro, the back is really beautiful. Yes, it is. Winglets are still the same. And that number one is very Carl Fogarty style. But yeah. So these are going to be lots of incremental little updates. 240 horsepower. Let's see what they've done internally. Okay, so I still gotta pass Euro 5. 998 cubic centimeters, 16,500 RPM. Stock exhaust 218 horsepower, 240.5 horsepower at 15,500 RPM.
Per raggiungere queste prestazioni
on the street.
Abbiamo lavorato sui componenti principali del motore. Per la prima volta su un motore stradale sono state utilizzate
titanium gun drill connecting rods. So the piston is being polished even more in order to not have so much friction on the engine. Okay, pistons are 5 grams lighter. So the clutch is brand new as well. So they put a brand new clutch just like the Superbike one. So the diameter has been reduced and the width has been reduced. So they dropped 800 grams. 4 engine modes. Full and lower new. Okay. The dashboard has always been incredibly amazing, so the dashboard stays the same. Lots of electronic little tweaks for the corner entry brakes. A new strategy for the quick shift which makes gear shifting smoother regardless of the throttle opening. Okay, so the quick shifter is going to be modulated regardless of where you are on the throttle turn. A new 50% more compact fly-by-wire basically. They added a pit limiter. It's a bit of a gimmick, but it's very cool. So the front frame stays the same, but the height of the rear swing and pivot can be increased according to Ford position in 2mm increments. Very interesting. So to increase the agility for the rider and feeling gripped, this is following the strategy for the V4, V4S with the 2022 model, with a new iteration which maintains a fully mechanical adjustment but maintains the suspension. So the front forks are higher by 5mm and the damper is a TTX36 in the rear, which goes from 312 to 360 millimeters. Wow, so basically when you can change a device in the swing arm that can pivot it up and down, changing the height and the wheel distance as well, up and down to lift the bike up or down, reducing squat a lot. They're basically creating an anti-squat situation by having the bike higher so that the swing arc can return down, improving stability, precision, and the ability to hold the line when you're entering corners. The rear damper is equipped with a hydraulic preload adjuster to help with the whole thing. The fairings are updated as well. The tank is still the brushed aluminum one. There's more space in the tank for gasoline. Oh, they fixed what they did in the V4S SB2. They extended the rear seat further back so that people can scoot back. So the winglets that they've been having, which were the old V4R winglets, are actually coming into new superbikes. So they're 40% more compact and 50% thinner with the same aerodynamic efficiency. And after you buy this amazing bike, there's a bunch of accessories that you can buy. How much is the Akrapovic, you may ask? It improves the power to weight ratio and so on and so forth. It reduces 5 kilos from the original exhaust, which is great. And the power goes from the 218 to 237 horsepower with the new exhaust. And it comes dedicated with mapping so that the DTC, the DWC, the DPL, and DSC parameters suit the new performance levels of the exhaust. They've developed a new software specifically for track folks, DTC3, for slick and rain tires, which is sold separately, which enables the flashing of the rear parking lights. Oh, wow, to work with the rain, which is competition regulations in mode rain for track, all designed for track use. Wow. The rims have lost 700 grams, interesting. And they have a brand new helmet and suit boots specifically designed to match with this bike. How Ducati. BMW, catch up. Wow, okay. This is a lot to unpack here, guys. Incredible looking. What's next? Wait, there's another one? Oh, it's a Street Fighter. It's a Street Fighter. The Street Fighter is gonna get a major treatment and a major upgrade. Yeah, and it's blacked out from what I can see. Yeah, the next one is gonna be a Street Fighter. Okay, guys, so BMW punched and Ducati took it in the chin and punched back. The question is, did they punch back hard enough? Because what we don't know from the BMW press kit or video and everything, the video that I put out before, is what they've done internally. It's clearly what they've done externally with aerodynamics, which, sincerely speaking, looks very close to a MotoGP bike, but the World Superbike does not. The World Superbike has aerodynamic improvements for sure. The BMW just looks like it's gonna kick ass when it comes to World Superbike, and we don't know the technology that is inside. Ducati has actually given us a list of things which are brand new highlights. So these are the highlights. They've given us lots of internal little tweaks and notes, but is it enough to beat the BMW? Leave the comments in the your thoughts in the comments below, because this is going to be pretty interesting. So limited edition, 240 horsepower with the Shell oil that they talk about that they're developing with, but right now it sits at 237 with the Akrapovic and the map that comes with it. 218 horsepower just with the stock exhaust and the current map that they have with the stock exhaust. Rods are pre-drilled to let the oil flow for a better lubrication, I'm assuming working together with the Shell oil to bring that power to 240.5. Fuck! So it has 5 grams lighter pistons, 5 millimeter lower breathing pipes. So basically in your air box, not in the air box, but in the air entry part, there's a lower, thinner area for the air to enter where the fuel is being injected. So I'm assuming it's just to, well, not assuming, they're saying that it is to improve the air going into the engine. The gears are exactly like World Superbikes. They dropped 800 grams on the clutch. They actually grabbed the clutch that they use in World Superbike, and that's exactly what they're using this time here. It is thinner and narrower, smaller in diameter and narrower. There are 2 new modes to the mapping. The top mode, the race mode, is basically unhinged. Every mapping for every gear is at the top peak torque. All the aids are turned off. Good luck riding that, unless you're Alvaro Bautista or some of the Ducati 20,000 riders that they now have in MotoGP. One is for the other mapping is for the rain, and the other two mappings in the middle kind of stay the same as before. There's a pit limiter, which I think is a bit of a gimmick, but it's kind of cool when you spend that kind of money. Higher shocks and higher forks. They've raised the bike 20 millimeters from front and rear, and in order to help it reduce squat, or I'm sure there's some kind of magical geometry gimmicky here, where the rear swing arm bolts into the bike. They have 4 pivot points. You can rotate it in 4 different ways to add or remove kind of like altitude of where the swing arm connects in the bike, elevating, raising the bike from the center part and lowering the bike from the center part, spreading the wheels forward or lifting it closer together, and also bringing it taller. So all your preload setups in the front and in the rear, every time you click that mode and change it, it's going to change. So you can raise the forks and the shock up and down, but you can also bring them up, change the geometry of that change with that swing arm. That is very interesting. The bike basically can change its pivot point from the middle and change the characteristics of the bike for a lot of tunability. Interesting. So you can grab your wrench out there and go clack, 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 clack all night, and then you're in Chocowalla, and then go clack, 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 clack all night, and then you're in Buttonwillow. You may need a part-time mechanic with this. Anyway, higher capacity tank, 17 liters now. They've kind of like changed a little bit of the profile of the tank. They've extended the rear seat, and they made it a little longer and flatter, just like they did on the V4S SP2. The wings and bodywork that the V4S has is not in World Superbike. They still use the V4R. So I wonder if that new aero work that they have over there can come over to World Superbike. Well, it's going to come over to World Superbike now. And the rims are lighter by 700 grams. This is the list of updates for this bike. The biggest thing for me is the horsepower. How did they achieve that? God knows. The top speed, to wait and see. BMW Race Edition is very mean, man. I really like it. I hate the sound of the engine and the characteristics, but they really mean business with the aero work that they did on the body, and the winglets are humongous. Let's see how Ducati does next year. But I like this bike. It's awesome. And yeah, look forward to seeing it in action. All right, guys, thank you for watching this. Enjoy the video. Go click in Ducati's link as well so you can see the whole shebang in Italian. And thank you for watching. Peace.